Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I have a ladder game, so therefore a best of one. It's going to be on Star Station and the two players are Terran and Protoss, so a TvP. Let me introduce them. In the top right position for spawning as the red Terran player, we have got SjoW. And his opponent down in the bottom right, the blue Protoss, NaRa. And shows indeed come back to StarCraft 2. That is cool times. So, Star Station in the vertical spawn positions makes things very exciting. The third base, if we get that far, will be this one because you never expand towards your opponent. That is crazy talk. Never want to be doing that. Always a dangerous move, especially when there's like 2-3 attack paths through into it. It's just like, wow, that's gonna be bad times. But as we can see, supply depot coming down here for SjoW. Meanwhile, NaRa just got the pylon there. Both players, well, the current meta actually for PvT, in all honesty, is to take quite quick expansions down. There are one-base plays that work, but the Mothership Core has really helped Protoss players hold off a lot of the one-base aggression from Terran, and therefore it has become less common. It's a 4-player map as well, so one-base plays not quite as prominent as on two spawn position maps, because that's where you know where your opponent is and you can start rallying units straight away. But we'll wait to see. It actually looks like SjoW going to just be going for a command center first build, really bold, straight away off the mark, going to be going economically focused. It's fine though, because as I said, one base play is really falling on the meta. Getting these quick expansions down are important. We see the gas is on its way for NaRa. If you got the Nexus before a gas and probably even a Cyber Core would be quite unusual, but 2 gases, this is really looking like it could be some aggression coming in. Star Station does have a lot of dead space around the main, so Stargate plays can be quite good. Oracle specifically can deal a huge amount of damage and really would punish an opening where the barracks is so late. But SjoW probably going to get another barracks at least before taking the gas, unless he's going really greedy. But that would be an incredibly greedy opening and something that may not be too beneficial. The Cybercore on its way down here for NaRa at the moment, and as we can see, the probe just scouting around all the different positions. The SCV scout is going to get to NaRa's base first. There's the second barracks. Should now see some gas. Can get a third racks if you're really concerned. And actually, when SjoW comes in and sees there's 2 gas down, if he hasn't already started the gas, I think he will get the third barracks, knowing that there's some one-base aggression coming down, and knowing that he needs to stay safe from it. So, what sort of tech it could be coming down? As I said, Stargate's a possibility. It could be DTs. That's always the back of every Protoss player's mind. Shall I just DT rush them? Other things, there are other builds as well, but there's the double gas scout. We do see now that obviously the command center finishing up. SjoW is starting up the orbital commands at both his natural and his main base. The second barracks coming down, and now SjoW's big decision is, do I get that third barracks before I take any gas? Do I just play this super safe? I did take a bit of a risk taking that command center there. We see that NaRa does get in and sees the command center coming down. The Mothership Core on its way out. No sign yet of any tech. There is quite a bit of gas banked up, enough for a Stargate. Is that what we're going to see? Because obviously this pylon down here is a bit indicated that it's probably going to be a... Okay, it's not going to be a Stargate. I was going to say, I had a brilliant chain of thought though. I assure all of you that it was like, yes, this pylon here means that you've got a closer rush distance in the vertical spawn positions. You can chuck down a Stargate and quickly get over there. Blah 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 blah. But no. Twilight Council. This means that it's probably going to be some Blink play or potentially DT play. Those are the 2 options. Blink obviously got a big nerf in the Heart of the Swarm beta, in the sense that it took so much longer to research it because the Mothership Core made it so OP. You could just warp in onto the high ground with Vigilance and be like, herped up, gonna kill you. But DT's got a bit of a buff. The Dark Shrine costs less gas and less minerals to produce, therefore can come out. But no, NaRa, going for Blink. Just like, yeah, Blink all the way. I like blinking. It's blinking awesome, you might say. Herp, derp, derp, derp. Don't you just love my corny jokes I come out with sometimes? But yes, the second refinery on its way here. We've got the engineering bay as well for SjoW. SjoW just really going quite nicely, not really taking many risks here. Just getting down the tech lab to start stim up, because of course that's going to be essential. The proxy pylon on its way. Currently SjoW doesn't really have much information. Gets a scan of seas, there's no natural, but doesn't see much else. May actually be forced to use another scan to find out what's occurring, and unfortunately it's very unlikely that he'll scan up here, so this tech's somewhat hidden. He might scan over to this sort of area to try and get a good read, try and see if anything's hidden around the back of the minerals, but for the moment just sees these stalkers poking around. Blink is now half done. Still getting chrono boosted like Bazonka, because you want to chrono boost it in order to get it out as quickly as possible. This is a timing push. You have to be successful early on with it, otherwise you will run into some problems. SjoW really not feeling comfortable, pulls back a lot of those SCVs. We see the bunkers already in the high ground. That's going to help this defense massively. Concussive shell also coming down here. A couple of Marines are coming forward. That barracks being forced to move back. That's frustrating. Delaying a couple of those units coming out. SjoW's also supply blocked. He's got a couple of supply depots about to come in. Blink is a few seconds away from completion. Another stalker on its way through. A bunker here at the natural is only got the single Marine in it, so can get focused down fairly quickly. This salvage does not go off. The orbital command trying to flow back up into the main. We see that a lot of SCVs already pulled there, ready to repair it up, knowing that this aggression likely to be coming down. SCVs coming over towards the orbital, ready to repair it, but there is Marauder, and Concussive Shell is finished. That's going to help the Marauder hold off this push, kite those stalkers very effectively, but with Blink they can move up whenever they so feel ready. The best area to blink up into will be round here, because then they do still have the retreat path and they're not in range of that bunker. So there we go, exactly as expected. NaRa blinks up there. We've got the orbital command coming to land over the other side, but here comes the push. The stalkers focusing down one of the Marauders, but the rest of the Marauders doing a lot of damage. The SCV's getting pulled as well. Here we can see the mothership core has got to stay up to keep that vision coming, but more stalkers are warping in the natural base, getting taken behind this. So NaRa not all in, just putting on a lot of pain. Gonna try and snipe off this bunker, which would be a massive hit. A time warp being used as well. Lovely little snipe there by NaRa. The tech lab as well getting focused down, does not get repaired in time. That's going to delay Stim hugely. Really nice play. This by NaRa, absolutely brilliant. The time warps as well, stopping much of the infantry getting into range, allowing a lot of these SCVs to get focused down. Blink Micro bringing back the damage stalkers while still maximizing the amount of damage done to the SCV count. And as we can see, these stalkers are going to get back mainly intact, losing half of that of SjoW in terms of the engagement. We can see if we take a quick look at the worker count that it's 31 down to 21 in the Protoss' favour. The natural base is up and running, chrono boosting out those probes. The stalkers just doing any damage they feel like, and that Stim delay was massive. That was like a third done on Stim already. Massive, massive, massive. And as we can see, this is now just a bit more Blink Stalker Micro. Vision of the high ground being granted by that mothership core, but Concussive Shell getting the better of the Stalkers at the moment. Quite a few Marauders out, and therefore for the moment NaRa is going to be forced back. He's going to have to just wait, regroup, get a couple more reinforcements before trying to move up again. But as the Marauder count gets higher and higher, it's going to get harder to push into this. It's going to get extremely difficult very quickly, and if you blink up into the high ground, these Marauders will shred through everything. There's not much energy on this mothership core yet, nearly up to 100, so we'll be able to get a time warp down, soon be able to get a mass recall as well. And this tech lab, oh my goodness, if the tech lab goes down again, that is game changing. Literally, this Stim has been delayed incredibly. A second huge delay on that Stim timing. Brilliant, brilliant play. Mothership core does now go down. That spells an end to this Blink Stalker harassment, at least blinking up into the high ground, because there's no vision up there. That is a bit of a loss, but a nice snipe off. But to be honest, SjoW putting these SCVs, because he knows he's got to break this down. Great force field though. That sentry warp in such a smart move means that a lot of these units getting caught out of position, blinking over to the side as well, just in order to finish off any units he can. NaRa has just now lost that force field though, is able to blink away to safety, and so far really showing some good play. We've got the starport coming down here as well for, of course, a SjoW who's moving his orbital command back down into the natural. But just look at this probe count. 48 to 30, the double forge is coming down. We've also got an additional 2 gateways in production. NaRa getting those snipes off on those tech labs, absolutely sensational, really getting him so far ahead in this game. We can see Stim only just starting now again, 20 seconds into production of 170 build time. So long until that'll be done, and as we can see, 1-1 upgrades coming down. The one thing that SjoW is going to get ahead on is the +1 infantry weapons by a small amount, but as we can see, there's just so many units out here that SjoW, he's going to have to do something very special. A couple of Marines are getting focused down. We see that factory just coming to get a little scout out, because that's what factories do best. Marauders trying to get focused. One goes down, and then we see that the blink goes back, not wanting to engage those Marauders head on, especially with Concussive Shell. There's 4 sentries down here with the additional 2 gateways. Once they become warp gates, that's going to be 5 gates of production. The Stalkers do need to be a little bit careful. This third Nexus is pretty risky, I'm going to be honest with you, but NaRa feels he can hold it. If he can hold it, he will stay a base up on his opponent, and that will be fantastic for him. But these warp ins, they've got to come down soon. We've got the 2 additional warp gates there now. We need to get these Stalkers back to safety. He needs to engage with his full army. May just blink up into the high ground there to be safe, trying to just buy himself some time by baiting SjoW to come back, but in come the Zealots with charge, and that just means that with some good force fields, this could be quite nice. The Medivacs get focused down, allowing those Zealots to do damage. Those force fields impeccably good, and therefore no retreat for this infantry. SjoW about to lose all of it. Most of the Stalkers do still survive, the sentries all still up, and the factory is about to fall down. No stims, hurting SjoW so much. He needs that stim down, and it's still a good 30 seconds away from completion. The 1-1 upgrades are nearly completed. We're going to have more warp-ins. No proxy pylon at the moment, other than this one by the watchtower, but it's still quite a way away. But it's good for reinforcements. What we've got now is really SjoW in a terrible spot. He's got a handful of units up against a sizable gateway force. Stim is only just finished now. Widowmine coming down. These supply depots will get focused. The Blink Stalkers obviously can get to safety. The Zealots charging on up, engaging on the ramp. It's not the best place to be, but the Medevac's getting taken out. There's the force field on the ramp. With 4 sentries, you can force field that for such a long period of time. That means no retreat for the remainder of those SCVs. The Orbital Command does get now taken down. That means that SjoW is down to just 1 Orbital Command up against the 3 Nexus from NaRa. NaRa's in a great spot. I'm surprised he hasn't even tried to go and kill those SCVs, to be honest. He's just like, I'll let him live. I'll give him a chance. I'll let him have those for the moment. More gateways being added on here. The 1-1 upgrades now completed. 2-2 on their way down. 1-0 there for SjoW. But SjoW, he's got it all in at this stage. He's nearly mined out in his main. There's 150 minerals left on some of these patches, and that's just not good for him. It's not going to work well. If we look at the income, that tells the entire tale. In terms of just sheer work count, 70 to 38. But with only 1 mining base, what has SjoW got to do? He's got to all in. That's why there is an SCV train making its way across. It'd be oversaturating anyway. And here comes the time warp. We've got a lot of gateways here, units here. Force fields going down, to splitting apart the army, allowing the tanky, or rather damage soaking up SCVs to get taken out in relatively ease. We've got a robotic facility. We have got more warp gates. We've got more units warping in. The 2-2 upgrades nearly done. Some High Templar coming down, but no Storm. But they can be Archons really quickly. And there we go. The 2 Archons coming down, just adding a bit more tankiness to this force. Stim can still deal some good damage, but I don't see this force working for SjoW. He's 40 supply behind his opponent. The Medevacs are going to get focused down, meaning that Stim has to be used so conservatively. More force fields being used effectively, and this means NaRa is able to chase down quite a lot of this army. The Medevac getting taken out, but the Marauders doing some good damage to the Stalkers. Only 2 remain, but more Zealots getting warped in. They are just going to slice and dice their way through this infantry force, and there's the GG from SjoW. NaRa making that blink play work so effectively. I cannot emphasize, though, the biggest turning block in that game was knocking out the tech labs. Absolutely game breaking. Once it's terrible, twice it's near impossible to come back from. But SjoW, he gave it his best ever, so congrats to him. Congrats though to NaRa for winning. If you enjoyed the cast, make sure you like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe. I get new games up daily, so I hope to see each and every one of you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.